Hello everyone, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 5th edition. If you don't know what I mean when I say 5th edition, you can look down in the description, you'll see some extra rules that I applied to myself to make it feel a little bit more like tabletop 5th edition. Not all the way there, but just a few things. Last time we were here, over in this rocky, cliffy area in the north, near the Risen Road, and we were attacking a bunch of gnolls and hyenas and all kinds of horrible creatures. And there were two humans somewhere in this cave that were just trying to help out. And then we used our illithid power to convince the leader of the gnolls not to attack us. And then in an instant, they came in here and started murdering the humans that were in here. So it's not an outcome that I had seen before. I had seen once in a previous patch where the gnoll leader joined you and you kind of had direct control of them for the remainder of the fight to kill the other gnolls, but I don't know if that was a slightly different check or whether things have changed ever so slightly.
Sharp as ever.
But in any case, we're alive. That's always what I hope for most. And we're currently not in danger, so we will take some lovely sausage. And we'll just pick through what we've got to find here before then going on down into the cave to see what else there is to find.
Keeping pace.
What are the stats on this spear? Two-handed, an aged spear, two-handed dippable, can't dual wield. But it seems to be I guess it's a simple strength weapon as opposed to a simple finesse weapon. It's not going to be very helpful to us. Nothing on this guy's pockets. How about this guy's pockets? Nope, nothing there either. So the party of gnolls are just kind of hanging out here now. This fire is apparently going to go out in 78 turns, which is several minutes. I could throw some water down to get that to disappear, or I suppose I could just wait incredibly patiently, so I'm going to do that. I'll be right back. Well, the ash has disappeared, but the fires are still going, so if we are careful, we can walk through the center here without having to take any extra damage. Journal update. Find the missing shipment. Did we know a shipment was missing? We discovered two people trapped in a cave. Using our parasite, we forced the gnoll leader to attack the men in the cave. It's sure to be a bloodbath. They died, their cargo is still here, and it looks valuable. Alright, well. We are not being attacked.
She is still ravenous, her mind a hungry pit. The flesh of the survivors wasn't enough to satisfy her.
Oh dear. Okay. She wants more meat. Tell her to feast on the other gnolls. That is a high DC. Fortunately, I would say gnolls don't understand regular spellcasting, so I'm giving myself guidance on this one. We didn't even need it.
Sensing your presence, the gnoll's tadpole writhes in ecstasy, echoing your command. Its host will feast on gnoll flesh to control the hunger, to keep her teeth from your throat.
Okay. This is more what I was expecting earlier. I wish I had taken a moment to better prepare ourselves. So the gnoll hunter, gnoll pack leader is going to do some big attacking. Wyll is in the firing line. Grace can come and help out, that's for sure. And we've leveled up to 4, at least with Wyll we have. Wyll is taking an acidic beating. Now we want to hit the ones that are not Flind the Warlord. Simple enough. Let's try and take out this guy with 1 HP. We should be able to do that. Leaving Flind to attack the others. Imp with movement. Let's see if they can get over here. Help out with this hyena. Critical miss. And clearly the gnolls don't see the big guy as a threat. Oh, maybe they do. They're shoving him. Wyll is holding up incredibly well against lots of attacks. Now it's time to reapply our Hex. And get to shooting. That is a big miss. Wyll is up as well. He too will reapply his Hex to this closer one. And we may as well be spending our spell slots because we're going to long rest reasonably soon because we've spent most of our spell slots with our other character and we're out of short rests. So what spell would we like to use here? 30% chances is not great. But we can just Arms of Hadar. That seems reasonable. They take 12 and fail a saving throw. So I'm not sure what condition they're stuck with now. Can't react. Okay.
No holding back.
If they can't react, let's retreat slightly. Imp over at the back. Make sure we're attacking the correct foes. Yeah, I'm glad she is on our side. Because she hits like a train. Right, the Flesh Nora is our current problem. That is a strong hit. 19 with 1 beam is massive. Can we get in range of this guy without having to stand in fire? We can indeed. That's that fight resolved.
Blade at the ready.
They're going to come chat with us again.
She is still ravenous, her mind a hungry pit. The flesh of her pack wasn't enough to satisfy her.
What does she want? Jeez. Feast on herself. Yeah, sure. Again, I don't think gnolls would understand what guidance is, and this one's only a DC 10, so we should be fine.
Her tadpole responds, thrashing violently, and the fragile tissue of her brain tears and splits. You taste the blood in her throat, feel it pooling in the cavity of her skull. But she still resists.
I'm going to harness our willpower. DC 15 now. Yeah, couldn't last, could it? We might have some inspiration, though. Yes, we do. We're spending it. With a D... Yes. As I say, with a D3, but we needed 3. We got 4.
Your tadpole wriggles, contented, as she tears out her own throat.
That got dark. Are we going to see a tadpole wiggle away from her? It's normally what we see with the tadpole's death host. Seems not, but that's fine by me. So back to what we were doing.
Am I needed?
Let's check out her corpse for a start. There's the Shattered Flail, +2. 1d6 +2. Dealing damage with this weapon heals the wielder for 1d6 hit points and instills with them an insatiable hunger. They can go mad if they do not deal damage each turn. I'm going to assume we're not proficient with that. We are proficient with that. Again, though, it's a strength weapon. And if we come to our character sheet, we'll see our strength is 9. So right now, with a rapier, a finesse weapon, our melee attack is +3. That's because our dex is +1, with 13 being a +1, because going up in numbers, you get +1 for every even number you pass. Going down from 10, you get -1 for every odd number you pass. So this is proficiency +2 and finesse +1. If we equip this, we'll see our melee attack remains the same because it's proficiency +2, strength -1, but then the weapon is +2. So that is an option for us, which is interesting and only slightly terrifying. We took everything else that was on that person, that corpse, so we can move in here through the fire. Don't think these guys are going to have anything else on their persons because they tend not to. Big fancy chest. A carrot? You know we're taking carrots. Carrots every day for us guys. We'll take all that. And some more alchemist fire. And more alchemist fire. And you'll never guess what. Even more alchemist fire. There's the corpse of Ollie. The one who said they should come join us in the fight. Leather armor is what we're already wearing. Rugen. Ringmail armor, which we're not proficient with, but 164 gold is nothing to sneeze at. And then just hyenas and null hunters. Otherwise, the caravan strongbox, to which we did not just receive a key. And it says that the strongbox itself is a story item, so it's going to encumber us. But let's pick that up. Find the missing shipment, we get an update. The men hiding from the gnolls were carrying a locked, sealed chest. We could try and find its owner, or we can open it and take what's inside. I have never completed the quest where we return it, and I believe I know what's inside. So we're going to hold on to the chest locked and see if we can manage to carry it around with ourselves. So we are encumbered for 40 weight, thanks to the weight of this thing. So it might be time to head back to the Druid's Grove and to camp and to sell and store whatever we can. We need a long rest anyway, so we could poke around this back channel here. Looks very explodey though. And you'll see, just very carefully there, a whole bunch of tripwires. And since we're not rogues, I'm just not gonna risk it. Because a big explosion could easily be the death of a character. So let's get Wyll out of here as safely as we can. There we go, there's the fire I wanted to avoid. How long are you going to be on fire for? You're out. Okay. We have put ourselves out.
That symbol in the blood, what does it mean?
I don't know. You tell me. Alright. It might be the symbol of the Absolute now that I put 2 and 2 together. So in that fight, we actually got up to level 4. I guess we did a whole bunch of killing just then. So let's see what level 4 holds for us. We can get a cantrip. I think Friends is as good as any for one of us to have. It's going to give us advantage on charisma checks when we use it. And I think, so with guidance, I don't use guidance whilst you're in a conversation because it is non-immersive. But I think the way Friends is designed to give you advantage during conversations, I think I'm going to allow myself the use of Friends in conversations. And then we get to pick a spell. Is there any thoughts on what we would definitely like? Probably not silence. I'm not going to use silence to any real effect, I'm almost certain. Hellish Rebuke as a reaction is good, but I don't like how the reaction system works here and having to have it turned on and off rather than getting to opting into when a reaction happens. Darkness, Detect Thoughts, I have no idea if Detect Thoughts is programmed for social encounters now, but I guess if we're going to take friends, we'll take Detect Thoughts and just see if that opens up any options to us as we progress through, because our damage dealing capabilities are pretty good right now. And we're going to keep what we've got here. We're not using tons of it, but there's nothing that I feel like we need to swap out particularly badly. And we get a feat, which is either increasing our stats by 2 or 2 stats by 1, or any of these feats. However, for us, where we are right now, if we just take off the con and the charisma that was auto-filled for us, we can see that intelligence is the only odd number. So if we made intelligence 10, increasing any of our other stats isn't really going to be helpful. We could increase strength to increase our carrying capacity a little bit, but I think we're just going to be better off increasing our charisma. That's going to increase our spell save DC. It's going to increase how... it's going to increase our attack roll with Eldritch Blast, and is generally going to do good for our spell casting and charisma skills. So that's Grace. As for Wyll, there is one thing we definitely want to do before we make any other consideration, and that is Wyll currently has... Okay, now I'm confused. If we back out of here a second, I really thought at one point Wyll had... Okay, that's the Invocation Disguise Self. I was sure at one point I had the Spell Disguise Self and the Invocation Disguise Self. But apparently we only have the Invocation. So I got that wrong earlier, and we don't have to worry about it. So we will level him up. So I'm happy with our spell choices. For a cantrip, we don't need 2 people with friends. I don't think we need poison spray because we have our rapier to attack with. Somebody already knows Mage Hand, so I think we're going to go with Chill Touch, just in the off chance that we encounter more undead. We can force them to have disadvantage on their attack rolls if we use that. A 2nd level spell, or indeed another 1st level spell if we choose. I wouldn't mind having Shatter with another hero, really. I'm not going to use Darkness very well, if at all. Hold Person could be good, except it's kind of save or suck, which I dislike, particularly when you only have 2 spell slots. We could take Burning Hands, but for close AoE, we already have Arms of Hadar. So I think I am just going to double up on Shatter. And here we get to pick feats as well. So with Wyll, we could take Charisma and increase that to 18 like we just did with Grace. However, Wyll has odd numbers on Wisdom, Constitution, Dexterity, and Strength. So I think we're going to get more mileage here if we increase Dex by 1. That will not only increase his ability to hit with his finesse weapons like his rapier, it's also going to roll him higher in initiative and give him higher armor class. So I think a point in Dex is worthwhile. And then we could increase Wisdom, which will make our perception checks increase by 1, which would be quite valuable. Or we could increase Constitution to 16. That would give us 4 extra hit points, 1 for each level that we've already acquired. So whilst 4 hit points is okay, we go from 31 to 35. I think we'll take the point in wisdom and just increase all of our wisdom skills. And so that is our level up for Wyll. Again, we don't need to replace a spell. I thought we might need to, but we do not. We're going to learn those spells. And that is all done. So we're now level 4. This means that we are basically at the cap of the strength we're going to reach, apart from finding more equipment for our use later. And the next things to do are to go and get another long rest in us, and then see about going back to the not the dwarven village, the druidic village, so that we can sell off some of our stuff and see if we can reduce our encumbered condition until we can resolve that quest later. But that is for next time. Thank you ever so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this session, please do let me know down in the comments below. Or if you'd like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing or hitting that like button. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.